Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, AubreyRS back again for episode 2 of the boss breakdown series, where things start to really step up. Crassian the Leviathan seemed easy, didn't it? Well, boss number 2, Taraket, is no pushover. But with the magic words abracadabra and this guide, you'll be raising a glass of spirits and sending him back to the underworld. Make that thumb blue and light up that red box. Let's get on with it. So today we're looking at Taraket, a fair jump in difficulty to Leviathan, and is the second boss of Elite Dungeon 3 Shadow Reef. Taraket comes in at 400,000 life points, but no style weakness, so feel free to use any style. Taraket is immune to stun, but not immune to weapon poison, so make sure you're ready with that if you wish. And finally, the max hit is 5k damage, so make sure you safe up if you approach that number. This is the setup that I use. It's very similar to the first boss, except I use the Salve amulet E for an extra 20% damage and accuracy boost against undead, and you guessed it, Taraket is an undead as they come, especially since he died and was resurrected. Undead Slayer Invention perk is also nice for this fight, but not required. But apart from that, anything as high level as Trim Masterwork down to Bandos is fine, and tier 85 weaponry or higher is just as fine. Scrimshaw Vampirism is also great for this fight, as we won't be using Soul Split, so it's still nice to get that health sustain with the Scrimshaw. Taraket has several mechanics you need to be aware of, all of which happen dynamically, and you need to be able to prioritize and adjust on the fly. The first and main mechanic of the fight is the Undead Portal. Taraket will open a portal in the middle of the room with 30,000 life points, and it will spawn 3 skeletons. It will do this constantly until the portal is destroyed or the timer runs out, which you don't want to happen, as that explosion deals 7,500 damage and is an easy KO point, so be sure to always deal with the portal as number 1 priority. Mechanic number 2, Taraket will spawn a Death Swiftness Cyclone around him. Just switch your prayer to range until it's gone and then back to magic, no problems. Taraket can also heal from any skeletons, so be conscious to kill them, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. When Taraket reaches 200k life points, he'll move to one side of the arena and summon an abomination, the Bloated monstrosity or corpse carrier. The Bloated monstrosity will deal moderate damage as well as boost Taraket's damage. The corpse carrier summons skeletons and deals moderate melee damage. My advice is to kill both Bloats. If you're confident you could ignore the Bloated monstrosity, then you can do that, but I highly advise you kill the corpse carrier, as the skeletons it spawns plus the portal skeletons plus Taraket is a surefire way to getting comboed out. Both Bloats have 90k HP in solo and up to 180k in trio, but if you're in a trio, I would ignore both Bloats and just hammer the boss. The final mechanic is the Ghost Wall. When Taraket reaches 200k HP for the 3rd time after the Bloats are spawned, he will then use the Ghost Wall, where he will spawn a line of ghosts directly in front of him in the direction he's facing. All you need to do is run through, so you're behind him, and you'll avoid it completely, as the ghosts hit 2,000 damage per tick, and it's an easy way to die. So either resonance and stay put, or run through the boss to avoid the ghosts. You'll know the ghosts are coming when he says either, "Witness the fury of the dead," or "I am the master of death." If you hear either of them, just run through the boss to his other side, and you can ignore the mechanic completely. For the boss, my first priority is to lure the boss closer to the portal, so I get the boss's attention, then I bladed dive away. Now I start my berserk rotation. So I dismember it into bleed assault. Then you can see I use my E ability into destroy. It's prioritizing that damage. Then I use 1 global cooldown tick of mutated flurry into 1 more ability. Lunging into my dismember. So the portal's now up. We're going to equip our 2-hander. And we're going to deal with it and all these skeletons around it. Yep, there's Death Swiftness, so now we change to Prey Range. Okay, there's the Rift almost dealt with. Okay, Rift is number 1 priority here in this fight. There we go, it's gone. I'm going to deal with the skeleton, so nice big quake. Sorted. So now the boss is below 200k health. We're going to prepare ourselves for the first bloat. I choose to kill it, but you don't really need to. This bloat doesn't matter too much. It's the second bloat that really hurts. But for this one, I do another berserk. This time I just use basics to get it down. And we go into an assault. Back to Prey Mage. Death Swiftness is gone. It's definitely a waste of a hurricane, but that's okay. So now we're back on the boss. Next priority is getting him down to below 200k again. And then he'll spawn the next bloat. So we're just going through our thresholds now, just waiting for Berserk to come back. Using a mutated flurry just to reduce the cooldown on Berserk. Just pretty standard stuff, just do damage at this point. Our Scrimshaw's really keeping our health up here. Haven't even touched any food yet. Okay, so there's the Rift again. We're going to prioritize the Rift. There's Taraket moving away now. We focus on the Rift, we get it down. Again, matter of priority. Rift is now down. Still a few skeletons up. That's okay, there's only a few of them. They're not really doing much damage at the moment. So now I'm working towards another Berserk here. And then we're going to get the Corpse Carrier down. Now he's now the priority. There's Berserk. Okay, we're going to use a Hurricane there just for a bit of AoE. Right, and that should be Corpse Carrier down, yep. Now we're back on Taraket. I opt here not to bother with the skeletons. I think there's only a few skeletons in the room. There isn't that many. Taraket wouldn't heal an awful lot, maybe 40 or 50k health or so. So I'm not too worried about that. Again, the food situation's good. Scrimshaw's putting in work. Yeah, so we've restored, 40k health there, so that's fine. We're happy just to DPS through that. Again, we're going to walk our slaughter. Use some more thresholds here just to get the health down. Again, we're looking for that below 200k threshold. There it is. So now Taraket is liable to use a ghost attack. So remember from earlier, we're looking for 2 phrases. And as soon as we see it, we're moving straight through. Master of Death, we move. There we go, that was just fine. And then Taraket usually does the ghost move again pretty quickly after the first one. See, just there. Can we just move through again, no problems. Now we Berserk. Now from this point, the portal's not coming for another few seconds. So we're just going to DPS here now and not worry about the portal. We're in Berserk, we've got 10 seconds. We can get the kill here. If you're in this position and you know you can get the kill, just forget the portal and just go for it. I mean, you can always eat through it if it really is close to death. But yeah, that's pretty much the fight. It's not a very hard fight. It's just a little bit overwhelming at the start whenever you're not used to it. But overall, it's quite a straightforward fight. Deal with the first bloat if you want to, but definitely kill the Corpse Carrier. But always make sure that the portal is your #1 priority. If you see a Death Swiftness, pray range, and in the final phase, just look out for that ghost attack. The second you see one of those 2 phrases, just make sure you run through. That's pretty much the fight. Yeah, good luck on your first attempts.